I'm almost done rebuilding the head on our 1977 Albin Ballad. I've put in a new deck pump out and started building the new interior and replaced all of the original 45-year-old through-hull fittings and seacocks. Having covered up one of the old smaller through-hulls, the boat is now ready for anti-fouling. And with a brand new 3D printed log wheel, she's almost ready to go back in the water. There's just one small thing left to do. My name is Andy, and this is the story of one small ship. I put the finishing touches on the covered up through hull, sanding it fair and prepping the surface for paint. We're splashing tomorrow and one final bit of work remains, putting the swim platform on the transom. I've removed the old swim ladder and plugged the holes with carriage bolts. I've used butyl tape for sealant as it is my preferred method above the waterline. Lena comes to lend me an extra pair of hands for mounting the platform. It's not too difficult, but since the boat is not sitting level on her braces, I end up eyeballing the position a bit. As of this recording, it's been over a year since we did this installation, and if the platform is not level, it's not enough that I've ever noticed it. I didn't get any footage of me crawling around the aft locker to tighten the nuts, but having done a bit of that again in 2022, I can tell you that it does not get easier as the years go by. Anyway, after painting over the glassed-in through-hull and replacing the prop shaft sinks, Marella is finally ready for launch. Well, it's May 11th, and that means it's launch day. Hopefully everything is ready, but I can't know for sure until the boat is actually in the water. Fingers crossed. The memory of the year before is on my mind as she's being lowered into the water. I remember very well hearing the sound like water in a stream and realizing what it meant to have her hauled out again to replace the prop shaft seal. And having just replaced every through-hull fitting on the boat, I'm quite a bit nervous to see if I've done a proper job sealing them all in. But to my immense joy, this time there is no sound of running water, just the soothing cluck-cluck of little waves lapping against the hull. I check all the fittings. Everything seems perfectly dry. I breathe a sigh of relief and signal the crane driver to release the sling. That's it, Marella is back on the water and the rain is not letting up. So here I am in the cabin enjoying the fact that the boat is once more floating. It feels great. None of the new through hulls have shown any signs of leaking. The boat is completely dry inside and the engine started without a hitch. So yeah, I'm really happy with how today went. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if the rain is going to let up, and then I'm going to head home and take an early day. And hopefully in the coming days the weather is going to improve and I can get back down here, cover her in canvas and get ready to step the mast. And then the usual stuff like making sure that the rigging is in order, looking over the running rigging, the standing rigging, and yeah, then she's basically ready to take out and I look forward to the first sail. But for now I'm gonna just head home and wait for the rain to let up. I'll pop by here tomorrow to make sure that she's still dry, and then we can get on with things. Wonderful. Well, I'm one happy guy because Marella's now been in the water for 2 days and everything is looking great. I'm still waiting on the canvas shop to finish restoring my spray hood, and so I haven't been able to put the cockpit tent back up. You really don't appreciate what a difference it makes until you don't have it when you need it. But anyway, yesterday we came down here and put all the upholstery back in, and she's really starting to feel like a home again. Today I'm going to head over to the mast shed and take out the masts and remove the old halyard sheaves. Now the original halyards on the Ballad were wire and they've long since been replaced with rope, and I want to make sure that the sheaves don't damage the halyard, so I'm going to see if I can find replacements for them. I'm also going to replace the old main halyard, which is still wire, with Dyneema. And since budget concerns are a bit tight at the moment, I'm going to use the old halyard that I got for the Jenniker last year for the main, and then later this summer I'll find something new for the Jenniker. And then tomorrow, if the weather improves, we'll get to try out the new dinghy for the first time. The kids have been really looking forward to that, so that'll be great. But first, let's head over to the mast shed and take the mast out. Well, these came out much easier than expected, so really happy with that. Now I just need to take them to the chandlers and have them replaced. The new ones are probably going to be composite. These are aluminium and quite heavy. Now I just need to put the new halyard in, and I'm going to use the old halyard as a mounting line and just pull the new one through. Should hold. Should. Yesterday we came down to try the new dinghy, and the girls had a lot of fun and it was a great day. And while they were doing that, I decided to take off the old deck organisers. And at first I'd planned to just take them home and clean them and grease them and put them back. But as I was taking them apart, I realized that they were really too far gone. Basically, I just had to replace them. So I picked up these new organizers from Spinlock, and I'm going to put them in the position that the old ones were. But I do want to preserve the angle that the old ones were mounted at. And for that reason, I took home and cleaned up the backing plates. In order to protect the sandwich construction, I'm going to drill out these holes to a bigger diameter and then fill that in with epoxy. And since that's going to take a few days to cure, I won't be able to finish this today, but instead I'll head over to the mast and we'll continue working on that. Well, I was a bit surprised by the rain, so I've been hiding in the cabin for a while, but it seems to have let up now, so I'm going to head over to the mast and we'll see if we can mount those new sheaves. Well, that's all of the sheaves at the head of the mast replaced. I still need to replace the ones at the other end, but I will do that once the mast is back on the boat. For now, I just need to wash it down, put the standing rigging back on, and then we can go step the mast. Welcome to Gothenburg. Literally 2 minutes ago it was pouring down rain, and now beautiful sunshine and like 23 degrees warm. I don't even... Well, there was a bit of a mishap. We accidentally put the lower shrouds in the wrong place. The forward lower shroud is where the aft one should be, and the aft one is where the forward one should be. So now I'm heading back to the crane to head up there and replace them, or switch them out. I think that's the third time I've made that same mistake, so for next year I aim to be a bit more mindful of what shroud goes where. Actually, the entire standing rigging is due for an overhaul anyway, but I'm getting ahead of myself. If you enjoyed this episode, you can help us out by leaving a like. It really does make a difference. And press subscribe and click the notification bell to follow us on our journey. You can also follow us on social media. Check out the links below for that. And thank you so much for watching. Fair winds.